Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This Life, a podcast by Mayorca Media. Hope everyone's doing great. Today is going to be a solo podcast. It's going to be also kind of a fast or a shorter one, not a fast one. It's going to be a shorter one. I have kind of a lot to do in a span of 3 days because I am going to a bachelor party. Woo! Shout out to the homie Julio. I'm going to be in Vegas from Thursday to Sunday. Yeah, it should be a lot of good, clean fun. Anyway, what I want to talk about. So yeah, I'm mainly going to kind of dive into what happened in the last week. So last week, today's April 20th. Oh, happy 420 to all you who celebrate. So last week I started off my Monday by getting my very first speeding ticket, which is kind of, it's one of those moments where you're pissed, but you're like, well, I can't really, do much about it. So yeah, I was driving, for those of you familiar with the 15 freeway, I was going north. I was on Bernardo Center Drive, and I was going like 80 or something, apparently, allegedly, according to the cop. And I kind of had a weird interaction. So with the cop, it was nothing bad, but obviously, I guess I was speeding. I didn't see him. He was in one of those police trucks, but he pulls me over and he asked me, do you know how fast you were going? If you ever get pulled over for speeding, make sure, even if you do know, and I honestly didn't know, but if you do know, don't say, yes, I was going fast or I was speeding, because that admits fault. Just something fun that I learned. But yeah, I told him, I don't know how fast I was going. I'm sorry, sir. And he asked me for all my documents and stuff. The whole time I was just kind of sitting there. I was pissed. Obviously, you get pissed, because it sucks. You hear these guys say, well, I'm just doing my job, when in reality, it's all numbers. It's all numbers based. But anyway, yeah, he gets my info, comes back, gives me the little citation writing thing, and says, this is what you have to do next. This is what, he told me, here's your ticket. This is what I gave you. And then he kind of stopped and was like, I put 80 miles an hour plus, because if I put an actual number, they would charge you more. But yeah, here you go. And then he hands me the paper, and I say, all right, thank you. And then he goes, any questions? And I say, yeah, what's next? I've never gotten a ticket before. So he proceeds to tell me what's next about traffic school and all that. And then I say, okay, well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And he kind of stops and he looks at me and he's like, it's kind of weird hearing you say that you appreciate it when I gave you a ticket. And I just kind of looked at him and I shrugged. I was like, what do you, I could either be super pissed off at this situation, and like start screaming at you, but that's not going to get us anywhere. And he goes, no, I totally understand that. I honestly, and from the bottom of my heart, like, I appreciate you, and I appreciate that you acted the way you did. It was very mature. Thank you so much. So, here's your ticket. He ended up giving me a ticket, but it kind of like showed like a human aspect with everything going on right now with cops and everything. And I know I wasn't targeted because, I don't think I was, because of the color of my skin. And again, I've never had a bad run-in with the cops. But with the climate right now and all that, and cops getting so much hate, I feel like he was expecting, obviously you're ruining someone's fucking day, damn, I was trying not to cuss on this one, but yeah, you ruin someone's day. Obviously, you expect them to just kind of lash out at you, and I didn't lash out, and he was surprised by that, which is crazy, because he legitimately was like, I'm just not used to like years of abuse, dude. Years of abuse as a cop, I'm sure, but yeah, that kind of set the tone for the week, and I wasn't really upset. Well, I mean, I was upset. Obviously, I have to pay for the stupid ticket. Plus, I was going the flow of the traffic. Other people just saw him and they slowed down. I was the idiot that didn't see him because he was in a police truck. That's neither here nor there. Speaking of cops, Derek Chauvin, or whatever that douchebag's name is, who blatantly murdered. Yes, he blatantly murdered. For those of you that might not believe it still, George Floyd, he got sentenced today. He's guilty on all counts, which fucking obviously there's videos. Like, it makes me so mad that, I mean, obviously the justice system and all that, it's pretty corrupt. But for people that still want to dispute it, it's like, he's guilty, dude. He murdered somebody. He knelt on someone's neck. I hope they do that to him in prison. See how it feels, because that shit's, it's infuriating. I don't care what someone's history was or wasn't, and I don't want to talk too much about this, but yeah, homeboy got sentenced today. So Derek Chauvin, burn in hell. I hope you have a terrible time in prison. Fuck you. But anyway, yeah, that was going back to my ticket. That kind of set the tone for the week, and I was telling myself I can't really control what happens. I mean, obviously I can control my speeding or whatever, but I'm not going to let this bring me down. I got this. So I think the next day I was still, I was still thinking about it. The next day I get an email from a potential client. Now this is kind of for those of you who work for yourselves, who are videographers, photographers, who just work with people in general, this is kind of a lesson for you. I emailed this person emailed me, actually. She said, "Hi, I'm interested in your photography services." I said, these are the pricing, or this is the pricing. And we agreed that she would hire me. So I sent the, what do you call it? The contract, wrote the contract up, sent it. I said, hope this finds you well, as you do in an email. I didn't say that, but I just sent it to her, and I was like, here you go. Here's the thing. Let me know if you have any questions. I didn't hear from her for like 2 weeks. I email her on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't really remember, but I say, hey, did you ever receive that contract? And she emails back like 30 minutes later and says, no, I didn't receive anything from you. I didn't hear from you, so I decided to go with another photographer. If you've ever shot a wedding, if you've ever hired someone for a wedding, you understand that that's a good chunk of change. And obviously, I love weddings, and I love to get my reps in. As many weddings as I can do, I'll do. But I read that, and immediately I was like, what the hell is this person's problem? Like, what? Why wouldn't you reach out to me? Why wouldn't you blah, 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 blah? Obviously, I was pissed. And then I got sad. I was like, dude, I just lost a good amount of income because I didn't check in. I didn't, what do you call it? To use layman's terms or office terms, I didn't circle back. I didn't confirm with her. I didn't check in with her. I just threw her the contract, and I said, here you go. And I kind of got what I deserved, honestly. I was pissed, and then I was sad, and then I was like, whatever, I don't need that. But then I put my pride aside. I took a moment, and I thought, well, if I would have just sent her an email and said, hey, did you get, the next day or the day after? It's one of those things that you have to take as a lesson and kind of buck up about it and be like, okay, I did screw up. So I actually emailed her an hour later. I said, I want to sincerely apologize. This was on me. I should have checked in with you, and I should not have assumed that you did not receive, or I'm sorry, that you did receive the contract. She didn't email back, obviously. I'm sure she was like, well, screw this guy. He's not going to, now he feels bad. But yeah, I was pretty upset about that. That sucked. That sucked because at the end of the day, it's on me. And at the end of the day, I have to take responsibility for it. So, two things, not so great things. I know I don't want to sit here and be like, everyone feel bad for me. But I just had one of those weeks where it was one thing after another, after another, after another. And it was like little things too. I also got my vaccine last week. And I just felt like tired. And that mixed in with how I already felt. I was like, oh boy, it was, my shoulder hurt like crazy. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are like, well, get the vaccine. It's for the greater good. It's for this. It's for that. I'm seeing a lot on CNN, how to approach someone that doesn't want to take the vaccine. First of all, if they're an adult, if they don't want to take it, they don't have to take it. I took it. I'm around a lot of people. I don't know. I took it, but I was nervous. I was like literally nervous. I couldn't really sleep the day before. And it's because it's so uncertain. It's new. I hate when these people get on. I mean, I hate both sides. When someone's like, you shouldn't get it because blah, 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 they're going to track you and the government's going to do this and that, shut up. But also when people are like, you're being so selfish, and the people, the anti-vaxxers and all this other stuff. I know people that have been vaccinated or have vaccinated their kids, and they're like, I don't know too much about the vaccine. We have in this country, we have a history of, we have privatized healthcare, and it's all about money. It's all about numbers. It's all about money. This sounds so familiar. Just what I was saying about the cop. It's all about numbers. He told me, I'm just doing my job. I just got to show my boss that I'm doing my job. And honestly, it's happened to me before where I get off with a warning. It wasn't for speeding or anything, but they were like, we just need your name and all your info so we can show our boss that we're doing our job. Really? You need to prey on the community so you can give a number out? Hey, yeah, we stopped 4, 5, 12 people today. So going back to the healthcare, it's like healthcare is pretty much this. And I'm going to use a super... I actually heard this in a movie, and it makes so much sense. I'm going to use a very vulgar, just kind of to get my point across. I'm going to get a little vulgar. So, you have insurance A, and they cover, let's say they cover broken bones. So you're like, okay, I haven't broken a bone. But then you get AIDS, and you're like, hey, can you cover this? No, we don't cover AIDS. Sorry. That's insurance B. So then you get insurance B. What does insurance cover? Or insurance B cover? Yeah, it covers AIDS, but then you get, I don't know, chronic diarrhea. Oh, we don't cover chronic diarrhea. Sorry. Or they'll pass you on to a specialist, and then that specialist and it's a constant thing. And I've seen it with my own mom's health. They find a lump in your breast. Oh, it's benign. You're good. Then what the hell is that lump? Am I supposed to have a lump? I had someone on. I had Missy on. Shout out to Missy Peters. They found a lump in her breast. Go listen to that episode too. It's a great one. Her story is insane. But to kind of gloss over the topic, they found a bump or a lump in her breast. They said, "Don't worry about it. It's benign. It's not cancerous." She said, "Okay, cool." Sent her home. Then, I believe that was in the middle of her pregnancy. Then she's pregnant, and her lump is growing. Turns out it's a tumor. It's cancer. and the cancer is being fed by estrogen, which women have, and their body is producing it so much during pregnancy. So she's pretty much in this crazy situation. But the main thing is that they just kind of passed her off, and they were like, "Oh, it's just a lump. You're good." People shouldn't have lumps in their bodies, but we get told, "Oh, it's all good. You're fine. You're fine. I just put some ice on it," right? So going back to this vaccine thing, that's what people are looking at. People, when you have this distrust in, a healthcare system that's for profit, I get it. Do I agree with it? Not really. Well, I got the vaccine, but I was nervous, and I told people that, and they were like, "Well, you shouldn't be nervous. It's fine." I was like, "Is it?" And then Johnson & Johnson comes out, "Oh, they're causing blood clots." And then they're saying, "Oh, well, our competitors are also causing blood clots." This came out like a couple days ago. Our competitors are causing blood clots as well. But then they got proven that was wrong. So, what? So if you're out there and you're thinking about getting the vaccine, do some research. And again, with the research, it might be swayed, but it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to I feel fine now. I just had a sore arm and I felt really tired and a little nauseous, but other than that, I'm fine. But I think it's normal. It's normal to feel that way. I told some people that are trying to have kids, and they were like, I don't know what's going to do for my reproductive health. That's valid. Everyone's opinion, it's all valid. We don't know enough about these vaccines and all that. And honestly, if I put this on YouTube, I'm probably going to get taken down, because you motherfuckers are in bed with all these governments and stuff. But anyway, yeah, it was just one of those weeks that felt kind of like a long sigh, just and deflation. So I, and then the whole Bad Bunny thing happened. I tried to get tickets with my girlfriend, and I'm usually really good with pre-sale and all that crap, but it didn't happen this time, which I know it happened with all of you a lot. But man, maybe I should call this episode Greed, because people took this advantage of other people wanting to be outside and things are finally opening up. We can finally go to concerts. People bought tickets, flipped them, right? Are you going to pay $1,000, $500 each for 2 seats in the nosebleeds? That's insane. And that, I know it's not that big of a deal. It's not that important, but the end of the week, I was just like, dude, give me a break. Like, I was in that line for like an hour and a half, didn't get anything. All resale tickets, all $1,000. It's freaking crazy, man. But that being said, today I went to I worked out in the morning, and I was here at Iconic at the gym, and I finished my workout, went in the shower, took a shower, came out, started working, and I just was like, man, I'm so blessed to just have this opportunity to be working, having my own space to work in, having my own office, having the supportive community that this gym is. And I'm sure a lot of you are already sick of me hearing about it, or hearing me talk about it, but man, it's so true. The circle of influence that you have is so important. Just the positivity factor. I get to walk in here, and I get to, have a relationship with all these people, and get to know more people, and just have an office. And I don't know, man. I think last week I was just so high strung that this week I'm kind of coming down from it. And I feel good. We all have off weeks. We all have off days. We all have our own problems. I don't think it's fair for you to, and I said this in the podcast, in the beginning, in this episode, I know my problems aren't as big or whatever, or I don't want to sound like I'm bitching. Sometimes you got to bitch about the little problems to look at the big picture. I'll bitch about the little problems and then be like, oh wow, what a tiny problem I have. I'm lucky that I got a ticket and I can pay for it. I'm lucky that I didn't get busted for driving without a license or driving without insurance because I can't pay for it, or driving without registration because I couldn't afford to pay my registration plates. I got caught for speeding, allegedly. But yeah, it I guess you need those downs to be up sometimes, which is, it's kind of eye-opening. It's humbling, I guess. I'll call it humbling. But yeah, I'm blessed to be living this life, and I've worked hard for it, and I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. It's kind of tough to talk at the camera when there's no guest here without rambling. But I'm extremely grateful. I can't talk today. Jeez Louise. I am extremely grateful for all of you who listen. I love when I get snaps or screenshots or anything and people say, oh, I love this episode. I love when you tell me, oh, I like this one. I started it, but it was a little too long, because I tend to do that. I tend to just ramble. I was talking to Bree and she was like, yeah, the episode was kind of long. Our episode, the one she was on, she's like, it was a little long. But I get to just sit and talk to people and record it, and I have just a history of where I was in my life, and I can look back and be like, holy shit, remember when when I was at Local Hub and I first started out, and the amazing people at Local Hub, and oh man, I don't know, I guess I'm just feeling maybe like nostalgic now. I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling all types of stuff, and yeah. But when you have a moment in your life to just kind of sit and reflect, definitely do it. Don't be afraid of looking at your past and seeing where you're coming from or where you're going. Don't get caught up in it, in the future and the past, but just live in the moment, enjoy the things that happened, look forward to the things that are going to happen. And I mean, that's all I can probably say. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening. This was a super quick one. Maybe I'll do more of these 20-minute ones. Let me know what you think, if you're actually listening, if you actually like this little 20-minute ramble. If not, then, whatever. I don't care. Thank you all so much for listening. This was the shortest, maybe shortest. So one of the shorter ones, episodes of ThisLife. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at Mayorca Media, MAYORCA MEDIA. And yeah, thanks for listening. I will catch you later. Bye.